When people hear me talk about my love of walking, I often think that they envision leisurely strolls down the canal towpath, which, to be fair, I do love. However, the broad spectrum of what walking can mean would likely have some people scratching their heads when they see me getting battered by the weather, worn out, and still only halfway up a mountain. I have been very lucky to have a friend who is more than familiar with the local mountains of Wales, and somehow has gained an incredible ability to visualise the monster mountains of Scotland based on the OS maps alone. As you may be able to imagine, having such a friend has led me into some extremely robust walks. It is almost impossible to explain why I love these tough walks to somebody who doesn't get it. I've often thought that I wouldn't even convince myself with my own arguments and defence of a solid day of hard plodding up and down mountains. So I will save a long, one-sided debate here and simply say I love the scenery and often epic views from the peaks. I love the challenge. I love the satisfaction of being able to say that I've done it. I love spending hours in the great outdoors with great company. And I love doing something that is difficult purely out of choice. The joy and satisfaction of being on the peak of a beautiful mountain is its own reward, but it is also a lesson in patience, as at that point you are only halfway through the walk. Interestingly, sometimes it is the descent that is the hardest part. In fact, for me, for a long period, before I properly got used to walking with poles and knee supports, I was finding the descents incredibly painful, and yet I still went up these mountains. Maybe it was foolish to keep going while experiencing such knee pain, but it should stand as a testament as to how much I enjoyed the entire process and experience as a whole. When I look at some of the walking data from my holidays to Scotland, or even just single days walking in Wales, I am often blown away to realise that I will have walked up more ascent than I may gain from all of my canal walks for the rest of the year combined. To put these mountain trips into context, I have frequently walked 10-mile routes with over 3,000 foot of ascent, only to realise that I could walk a similar 10-mile distance along some stretches of the canal and barely gain 200 foot of elevation. And most of that mainly due to having walk a few feet up and over canal bridges to cross over the water. It is for that reason that I always remember, no matter how big or energetic a walk I feel I might have done on the roads, paths, towpaths and country lanes of my local area, that compared to even one modest mountain, I have barely broken a sweat. This isn't a statement meant to disparage or belittle the route, but to remind and encourage myself that my legs have got a lot more left in the tank if I need them. It has been a good lesson for other areas of life to always remember the context of the events I am currently in the midst of. The long winding roads don't seem much to walk when compared to the mountain track, just as the daily annoyances and momentary hardships don't seem like much compared to the time I was flat out broke on a canal boat and then discovering I'd had my bike stolen, for example. In moments of despair or trouble, it is these little reminders and experiences that allow my morale to begin mounting a comeback. I hope you've enjoyed this short video essay. If you'd like to see more or support me, please consider checking out my Patreon, my books about boat life available on Amazon, and following me all over social media with the links in the description. Until the next time, have a fantastic day, keep it boat worthy, and of course, my friends, farewell.